Good afternoon, welcome back to me, Mark Davey and MD Model Works in association with Undercarriage 2 for enamel and lacquer based model paints. Right, now, having a break from the F16, we're going to do a review on Revell's not so new but new boxing limited edition B1b Lancer. Now this thing is massive, it is so big I've even had to change the lens on the camera. I've changed from my normal lens of 30mm all the way up or down to a 10mm lens just to get this in. Now it's massive, as you can see. I mean, I put my hand on there. Here's my test mill now, which is the F16 that I built. That's a 1/32 F16. So to give you an idea of the size of this box, it's huge. Right, what do I know about it? Basically it is the original moulding. I think the tools have been cleaned up, tidied up, ready for this. But it looks like we have some photo etch and something I haven't seen before, which I see on the box, some foil masking. Now that's a new one on me from anybody who makes kits. Normally they're die cast masks. As you can hear, Dudley's here to help. It's new to me, I haven't seen them, I don't know what they're like, but it even looks like we've got Edard coloured sets for the cockpit and everything else. So what we're going to do, further ado, we are going to put it to one side, open up the box. I have cut the tabs already. We'll have a look inside and see what we've got inside the box. But I mean, this is massive, it's huge. Got some bits out of the box. We're just going to get a few bits to go on. We'll have a look at those in a moment. We'll have a look at our booklet. Let's move that light away a little bit. Now, it's obviously one of the new booklets that Revell are doing. Very nicely put together with some good information. Usual thing, do's and don'ts. Every modeler does everything differently anyway. Set of tools, even pigs, I always laugh when I see that. Elastic bands on this account. So, you know, it does make me giggle. But hey ho, that's what it's all about, I guess. Colour callouts, forget about those. They're all in Revell's aqua colour, which is fine if you brush paint. Not too bad if you airbrush. Need to be thinned properly though. Anyway, going through, we've got our SPRO callouts here. Well, some of them, that's not all there, I'm sure. No. Your SPRO callouts for the first 2 pages. I mean, this thing is massive. It's very difficult to say how big this is. You've seen it on my desk. Anybody who's been to my house and seen my work desk, you've seen photos, you know it's big. And that thing dwarfs this. But anyway, first step. We've had PE in the first step. Looking at what we've got here. It looks like a bomb rack. Not 100% sure. No, it ain't bomb rack, I wouldn't imagine. It's part of the cockpit setup beginning. And you have to decide almost straight away whether the wheels are up or wheels are down. It's one of the funny things. I presume this is just part of the base of the undercarriage. I haven't, like I said, I haven't even researched this at all, to be honest. So we're just going from hearsay. So you have to decide straight away, wheels up, wheels down. Obviously we do it wheels down, unless you're going to fly from the ceiling. I love doing that, but the wife won't let me. Which is one thing she don't let me do, and I do let her get away with telling me I can't. So we're putting bulkheads in, extra parts going in. Another bulkhead going in here. Both ends of the area. We then get on to constructing the 3-part seats and the colouring, which is very, very red, which is fine. And then we come on to our photo etch. our red hard zoom, coloured photo etch, looking very nice. Excuse me. Down onto the pit area, obviously the wheel well's all in. Excuse me. 2 seats back in, the firewall between the cockpit and the radio operators at the rear, all going together. I'm telling you to do it twice here, which seems a bit odd to me, but I presume there's different areas, which there is. I do apologise. So we've got 4 seats to build. Looking at this with your radio or your bomb, your armament operator at the rear. Clear parts going in already. Smaller parts we don't worry about, we use crystal clear to do those. Depending on the size on this thing, anything could be huge. Right, 70 grams of weight. Now what is that roughly? 28 grams to an ounce, so 56. 2.5, nearly 3 ounces of weight to go in the front of that nose. That's a lot of weight. It goes behind in this area here. Probably get a little bit in the front and some more in the nose if you need to. Although we have got a radar system we could put in. Very, very nice idea. I quite like that. We might do that and leave it open so you can see inside it, with the doors open and the inside open so you can see what you're doing. Top half of the body, lower half of the body with the engine nacelles starting to go in, and then you go on to the undercarriage, the main undercarriage bays. Parts going in there. We've got presumably a nuclear weapon of some description going in. Obviously this was nuclear and conventional. The B1 originally was wiped clean by one of the presidents of the United States at the end of the Cold War because of the expense, and it was brought back. It was a high level conventional and nuclear, and it was brought back as high and low level conventional and nuclear attack, although I don't think you want to drop a nuclear bomb at low level. But it's precision guidance systems on it. Fantastic aircraft all the way around. Anyway, that was the multiple bomb racks going in. I love those. We'll certainly be building that for those. Sidewalls of the bomb bays going in. Lots of detail, but looking at these drawings, the bomb racks themselves going into the system, into the airframe. The undercarriage bay going in, and then we have other parts going on together here. Not 100% sure what that is, I do apologise. A small bomb rack again. There's just lots of it. Wings going together, wings going down, engines coming together with the nacelles going on and the fans going in. It may be worthwhile on these. I would have said before it's worthwhile getting a resin replacement, but as we've got photo etch I believe in here to do it with, we'll wait. Again, the engine nacelles going down, the fronts of the nacelles going on, or the intakes going in, the nose joining the body, always a pain in the bum. I have no idea how this fits. I think I built the monogram version perhaps 8 or 9 years ago, which my poor mother-in-law, long gone mother-in-law, bought me for Christmas one year. I loved the model but forgot to put the weight in, and it was a tail sitter, so it had a little clear piece at the bum which then held it upright. It's telling you a peg holds the wings together, which is absolutely fine, and the tail section in 2 pieces. So basically you're building a tube with the nose and the tail going on. Obviously you've got the nice T-tail on this, or the upper tail on this. Wheels going together, 2-part wheels. Sorry, I lied. 4-part wheels. Great, easy to paint, so we can spray these wheels and put the white centres in. Fantastic, like that way. Undercarriage going together. Front undercarriage is 3 pieces with a turnable front wheel, but looks of it very good. Then we come to the rest of the undercarriage going together, twin wheels going on, the rear undercarriage door going on, the side doors going on, and then we come to the rear wheels. Again, 3 pieces, 4 pieces. I'd like that idea, always have done. Both sides of the wheels and the rear undercarriage being made up, and it looks extremely detailed. Again, I can't remember, it's a long while since I've done this kit, but we'll have a look through it in a moment anyway. We've got the 6 wheels, oh sorry, the 4 wheels on each side. Massive great big legs on these, fantastically built. All go together. Same the other side. Undercarriage doors in the centre going on before you put the wheels in. Your restraints and your activators going on. Both sides. Revell 2 tend to do that. They do it for both sides now. Just instead of 1 picture, they do 2 pictures, which to me is wasting paper. But hey ho. Undercarriage doors for both sides going on. Excuse me. And this is with all the undercarriage, sorry, without in flight. So you've got wheels up on this side, wheels down on this side with the doors going on, bits of PE going in everywhere. Again, very nice. You've got your front windscreen going on. You've got the top part, your windows at the top going on, which you don't have to glue, that can be removed, which is a nice touch. And then we come on to our decal placements. So we've got a B1b Lancer 9 bomb group, 7 bomb wing, Dias Air Force Base, Texas, and that's October 1995. And then we've got the B1b 116 bomb wing, Georgia Air National Guard, Robins Air Force Base, Georgia, July 2000. So is that just 2, or do we have more? Oh, we have another one. We have 3. So we've got a B1b again of July 2000. Just checking to see the difference, if there is a difference. Doesn't look like there's any difference in those at all, so I'm going to say there's 2, just the 2 different versions, which is absolutely fine. And that is the instruction manual. Okay. Right, so let's take you out a little bit. There you go, a bit more. There. Right, so decals. So printed in Italy. Presumably these are cartograph. They're not thick, they're quite thin, which is nice for something this big. Everything looks great and in order. We've got the bat, which we all like the bat. Everything looks good. Now you can see we've got decals for the instrument panels if you don't want to go down the PE route. Absolutely fine. We've got the Eternal Guardian decals, Air National Guard decals, very nice. I like this one better. It's got a little bit of colour to it. We'll see what we're going to do when we get there. But they look all really good. Like I said, probably printed by Cartograph, printed in Italy. They're quite matte actually. Although, looking at that, they've got a satiny look to them, a satiny to matte look, which is absolutely fine. So we're happy enough with those. Put that to one side. Then we come on to our first plastic. I need to move this right out. As you can see, this is a section and a half of what we got to look forward to. Put these to one side here. Right, that's your lower section of our B1b. Now looking at it, first impressions, the just looking at this for a second, it looks very basic, let's put it that way. Looking at the bits and pieces, something I don't like at all, and I'll bring that up in a moment. the panel lines seem to be very large. These are the sort of panel lines that Airfix were accused of back in the day. I mean, on the real thing, if these were real, they'd probably be about 6 inches wide, which is that wide, which is going to look silly. Just to give you an idea of scale, there's a pot of tet, and that fits in the Bombay without any issues. That's how big this thing is. And then we haven't got the nose or the tail on it. But biggest problem I can see, easy to get rid of, but why they do it still, I don't know. They had the chance when they redone this to get rid of this, but I'm going to bring you right in. Let's see if you can see this. Across here it says copyright Revell Inc. 1983, so that's the age of this mould, although the mould's still feeling pretty good. Made in the USA, so this is an original American Revell kit. It's from Revell America. So let's take you out a bit more. Now that, it's fine if you want to keep it in. It's not going to be seen that much. Personally, I'm going to rub the heck out of it. But there's no flash, unlike the Hasegawa version of the Phantom that we saw, or the Reeboks of the Hasegawa plastic, which I thought was absolutely terrible. Panel lines, they're there, but they're Grand Canyon size. But hey ho. The top half. And again, this thing is massive. I mean, bottle of Alclad paint. Show you how size this is. This is a 30ml bottle of paint, and it is massive. It's big. A little bit of flash, but I mean, we're now looking at, how old is this? Blimey, 83. I just left school. Well, 82 I left school, so this is a year after I left school. And a lot of water gone on the bridge since then. Again, panel lines extremely heavy. Be able to fit your hand into those if they were the real size, but hey ho. It makes them some interesting look at it. They're all there. They don't fade off, they're all the same depth. Probably about a mile deep by scale, but they are all there. But that's fair enough. Again, it's 1983 kit. This isn't a Tamiya kit, as we said, but I will come to the price at the end of this, and I think you'll be a little bit astounded. Right, we've got our doors. I mean, that's the size of a door, a gear door. That's crazy. And we've got parts of our bomb racks, engines, everything else. The plastic feels, how can I put it? It feels old. It feels like an old type of plastic. And the way things are and how thick the plastic is, I mean, the parts are pretty good. There's very little flash on them, which is absolutely 100% fine. But there are, in these doors alone, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ejection pin marks, 3 in this one, 3 in that one to get rid of. It's a pity, but like I said, this is an old kit. The outer doors, nothing on them whatsoever. No marks. The paint will hold up the stress on the front, which isn't a big issue. Then we come to our bomb bays. Internal bomb bays, fine. We ain't going to see none of this. But on these side doors, on the bomb rack doors, again we've got 6 ejection pin marks on each to get rid of. Yeah, fine. A few swipes with a, run over with a bit of Mr. Surfacer, then a few swipes with a sanding stick, and they're gone. Still a bit of a pain in the butt, but hey ho. You want to build something this big, then that's what you're going to be stuck with. Right, firstly the tail plane, the engine nacelle, or the engine intakes. Again, massive great big numbers on the inside of the intakes. Tell you which parts they are. Take you out a bit. I mean, the tail itself is mahoosive. And again, you can hear my wife talking on the telephone. She don't need a telephone, they could hear her without the blooming phone. Anyway, looking at this, the tail is, I'm not sure how big that is, but that's got to be, if that's 1 centimetre, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 150 mil roughly tall, 6 inches tall, from the bottom of the fuselage to the top of the tail. That's a big piece. And again, it's tram lines of panel lines. Wouldn't be hard just to break these, say break and cut them, so you could rearrange them and make them look like they're movable. We've got a bulkhead there, very basic, nothing major on that piece. Right, so we come on to the sprue with the nose. Now, if we look to this side first, I'll bring the camera in a little bit so you can see. Now, there is quite a lot of good detail for the age of the kit. The detail is actually very, very good on the inside of the cockpit. The seats look good. I mean, you're not going to see a great deal, even though it's such a big kit, through the windscreen. And then we come on to our nose section, which again, very detailed, trenches in it, but for the size of the kit, it's going to make it work. We've got another instrument panel just up here. We'll take it out. As you can see, instrument panel just up here, coming off the sprue. But again, the details are all there. It's a good model. It's what the model are going to make out of it. That's the thing. Right, here we go. We have another bag. Massive, great big bag. Bum ba bum bum bum. Put to one side. I'm just going to do them as they come. These are so big. As you can see, parts are falling off the sprue just by touching them. So we've got the end of a bomb. We've got precision guided bombs here, obviously for the bomb racks, rotational bomb racks. Wheels look very, very nicely detailed, to be honest, with the brake biases at the rear. It's not bad. Lots and lots of detail around this area. Again, I think this is part of the bomb bay section, brilliantly done. Front gear, again, chunky, but then it would be. And on the rear of these bulkheads, some fantastic detail. Although there are some ejection pin marks to get rid of, still not an issue. Looking very, very nice. Back in the box. Get out of the way. Coming in, we've got more. We've got our two bomb bays. Again, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be there. I presume they're ejection pin marks. Just here. One on each of these squares, or two on each of these squares, top and bottom. And in here. And this is absolutely full of ejection pin marks. There's a lot of work to do on it there. Yeah, these shouldn't be there. This is getting quite hideous, to be honest. But it's all part of modelling. As they say, they can all be got rid of. They are big enough to be got rid of. So it's not, it's a big issue, but it isn't a big issue. You know what I mean? So we're looking through, we've got more wheel hubs. These are the rear ones. The radar, bomb bay areas. Just a lot of ejection pin marks. But then, remember, this is an 83 kit. So that's fine. Then we come on to the rear undercarriage. Now, I mean, that's the size of my finger. It's quite large, let's put it that way. Let's take you out as far as we can to see the whole thing. I mean, that's nearly the size of an A4 cutting mat, this one sprue. Loads of detail. on the floor bays, on the wheel bays, front wheel bay, and again there, yeah, that's fine. Ejection pin marks again everywhere. More bombs, absolutely fine. We've got our nose section, which is all in one piece, and our tail section, but that's easy to clean. It's easy clean up. It's just there is a seam line, but swipes over with a sand and sponge and with air, not an issue. Final bag. You hear things jiggling around in it already, so I'll be a bit more gentle. Right. There we go. There's a wing and a half, wing and a prayer. That is the size of my forearm. Now I haven't got little arms or little hands, but that is from the tip to the tip of the wing to the rotation area is from my elbow. So it shows you how big this thing is. It's massive. Stress marks on the skin, on the plastic, but we can deal with those. I just think paint will cover them up with a good, if you use Alclad's micro primer and micro filler and primer will take care of any of those marks. No rub marks, which is nice to see. Our intakes quite sharply done, a little bit of clean up, and they'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, right. So we've got the engine nacelles, nicely detailed, but they're big. I mean, my hand, size of my hand. Oof, that's what I mean about how soft it is. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 170 centimetres, so just over 6 inches. And that's the size of my hand from palm to tip of my ring finger. They're big. Nicely detailed, and there is one of your tails, rear tail or aileron, whatever you want to call it. It's huge. They join together, not a problem, looking good. We've got our fans, very basic, bit of a wash. You ain't going to see a great deal of them, but I'm hoping that there's a setting here in a minute which is going to make them even better. Just being a little bit careful with parts. We have our engine exhaust area on this SPRO. Not brilliant. Aftermarket guys, I know I've already jumped on this, and there's loads of aftermarket ready for it. Again, tails and the upper wings. I quite like this wing. It's very, very big, let's say that much. And again, that's going to be the same size, yeah, all the way from, there's the clip of my elbow to the tip of my you can't see that, but it's so big. I mean, from my elbow all the way through, that's how long they are. They're big. Right, so that's basically all the plastic. We have black plastic tyres. Obviously we'll just paint those up. I'm not going to get them out. They are what they are. They'll go together fine, no doubt. And we have our clear parts. Right. Where's the knife? Always have a knife here. I didn't this time because I thought it was just taped up. This will be fine. We'll just whip this off like so, being a little bit gentle, and see what we got here. Now, there's not much to it. It's not the shiniest. It fails the wobble test. They are quite thick, so considering the thickness that they are, it's not too bad. With a dip in aqua gloss, it'll bring them up, make them shine a little bit more, hopefully do the job. So it ain't too bad. We'll put that straight back into the plastic. that's the plastic. Now we have a grey box. Now, no idea what's in here till we have a look. This is obviously the extras you get. Yep. So we have two external sheets of photo etch made by Edward in 2019 with the Revell logo just here at the top there. And this is bag 2. We've got the engine parts on one side with plenty of instructions and cardboard. And I'm not going to get them out. We all know how good Edward is, or Edward, if you want to call it. And in the second bag we have an interior set with belts and bits and bobs for the seat. There's actually 3 sets in here. There must be a set in the centre as well. We will just open this one up to have a look. I'll put them back in afterwards. Just taking these. There you go. There's another set in there. There's the third set. You know what I am interested in seeing? I haven't seen it yet. So we've got basically a non-glued set, if you like. Looks good. We all know how good this stuff is by Edward. Again, we've got the Revell signature on there. Lovely stuff. With the full instructions for each part. I'll put them safely inside. Cover it up. Place it away. I like to keep things like this away. And in this one we've only got the 2 sets, I believe. I will open it up and take it out a little bit. That's that. I'll just have a look in here because something I'm particularly looking for and I haven't seen them yet. Ah, here we go. So put that to there, one side for a second. How many sets we got in this one? Just the 2. So we have the 2 sets, interior sets for this here. Beautifully done again by Edward. We know how good their stuff is, like I said. We don't need to go any further with that. Beautifully done. Let's say. Now this was the part I was interested in. Now it says foil. I saw foil somewhere. I think it was on the front cover, on the box. That's not foil, that's die cast. That's just die cut kabuta tape, which is absolutely fine. Nothing against that, but why put foil on it when it's not? But anyhow. Right. Now, firstly, I'm not going to get the box back up because it's so large. We'll put this on here so you can see what we're talking about. It's a 1983 model. It's the same as Monogram. It's originally made in the States, although it does say Revell Germany, or Revell DE, which is obviously Revell Germany. It's been reboxed in a limited edition form, the Platinum edition. The sets here would have cost you, what, £40 for your Edward set. The kit, I don't know the cost of the kit. I think I paid about £40 for a second-hand version. Years ago, it's at £80. Now, retail on this is £119. Do I think it's worth it? Probably not, to be honest. It's a lot of plastic for what you're getting, I'll admit that. There's a lot of photo etch. You've got your die cut masks. Fine, I don't use them very often. I tend to use my own computer tape and cut them out myself. Personal opinion, if you'd have come out with this and said it was a £65 kit without the photo etch, yeah, fine. Is it a £119 kit with the photo etch? Theory, yes. No, I don't think it is. I will be building it, that's a certainty. It's one of my favourite aircraft, and there is the story of them, one taken off at Mildenhall with full afterburners and blowing the windows out of loads of cars with the noise and the pressure. It's a fantastic aircraft, one of my favourite aircraft, fantastic, so I will build it. But for £119, you need to make your own mind up about that one. Entirely up to you. It's a lot of plastic, and it's big. It's going to be, you're going to want somewhere to put it, because it's not going to fit on that A4 cutting mat, that's a certainty. So anyway, that's another review by me. Probably a lot of waffling went on, but hey ho, we got there in the end. And thanks for watching. Back to the F-16. Cheers. Bye bye for now.